Melissa here coming at you with another video. I know, it's been forever. And then you're probably wondering what the heck is with the blouse. Well, I just got finished recording a video for something professionally, and I said, you know what, I was gonna do a video later, but I just figured, you know what, I'm already here. Let's get into this video. So if you read from the title, you already know. I'm just gonna give a life update. Basically, I had to take a break because I knew prior to the election, the noise was getting louder and louder and louder. And if you're the type that you can consume that and not necessarily be affected, so you know how that there's this there's this meme that goes around. It's like, oh, you don't have to click on every meme that you see. You keep scrolling. Well, I'm not that person. I am more inclined to click on and answer and speak and talk to everything in every meme. And it began to get a little bit crazy. And not only that, I knew that the closer that it got to the election, because my last video had to be about 3-4 weeks ago, I knew that it was going to get crazy. And so I just gave myself a mental break to step away from social media. And that's pretty much what I did. And I'm glad that I did, because I didn't necessarily foresee the craziness of the election and the days that it took. And I'm not even sure at this point if the election has officially been called. I know Donald Trump has decided that he has won over and over and over again. And that's funny to witness. But as far as I know that he hasn't conceded. Now that I do know, and that's neither here nor there. But I'm so glad that I took a break from social media. I miss you guys tremendously. There was so much that happened between the time of my last video and now. We had Tamar coming out, her boyfriend, and so many people have COVID. Shout out to Jeremiah, who I read that. You know what? No, that'll be a whole separate video. I'm not going to do a hot topic thing right now. I'm just giving you a life update. I am here. I think as a matter of fact, the last time I was here, these braids were, I didn't have my hair in braids, and I was going to do my hair and all this other stuff. And life just said, no, you need to sit down somewhere. And that's what I did. I don't have a problem with it. You have some people that have a problem with resting. They have a problem with self-care. That is not me. So if you see me taking breaks, just understand that I'm on my recreation. There's nothing wrong. There was nothing wrong. It's just simply where, I just need to take a mental break. And so maybe that's a good way for me to go segue into a video that I'm going to do one day. Just pretty much one of the top 5 things that I learned since doing YouTube and creating content. And one thing is, the burnout is real. When you're consistent as I am and as I have been, when you're that consistent, and you're making videos 2, 3, 4 times a week, the burnout is real. And I would like to suggest, even if you're doing 1 video a week, I know some content creators that I follow, and they only come on and do a live once a week, and they even have to take a break. So just be mindful, even if you're because that's not a just, if you're a stay-at-home mom, or if you work, or whatever it is, especially if you are a frontline worker and you're still working through COVID and everything else, make sure that you're taking care of yourself. And that's pretty much why I'm here. I came in to pop in. Like I said, I'm dressed, nicely from the top, but if you go down to the bottom, it's a hot mess. I just got on a skirt or whatever. But anyway, I just want to encourage you guys to continue to self-care through this crazy time, because the amount of noise and the amount of arguments and none of that is worth your peace. But not only that, it's just the fact that we're living through a pandemic, whether you believe it or not, whether you think it's just the flu, which a lot of people seem to think. Regardless of what you think, the fact that we're having a conversation about a pandemic, and we are in a pandemic, that is a lot of stress. And I just encourage you guys to take care of yourself, whatever that means for you, whatever that looks like for you. For somebody else, they might say, you know what, my out is creating more videos, but that's not my out. If y'all knew what it takes to even begin to set up a video, like I said, I just completed a video for professional reasons, and what it took, I'm like, man, it takes a lot. It takes a lot, and it is a lot. So since I've been doing YouTube, I stopped putting the pressure on some of my favorite YouTubers where it's like, when are they going to do a video, release a video? It's not easy at all. Not if you're if you're putting out quality. If you're putting out quality, if you're just like, whatever, my background could look like anything, any type of camera, then yes, it's going to be easy and you can just throw that mess together. But if you care about the quality and you care about your energy that you're putting forth on camera, it is not easy all the time. So with that being said, I am so glad to just pop in, give a life update, which is, there is no update. I am still here. I am still loving life. We are still social distancing as best we can. Arizona is actually becoming a hot spot. No kidding. I think last week we got at least 3 emails from our kids' school that there was an exposure, and then there was a whole team that was exposed, and so it's just a hot mess as far as that's concerned. But the good news is our kids are social distancing. I'm sorry, our kids are e-learning. Our kids are e-learning, so that's not an issue. Like, whatever is happening at that high school is not an issue for me, because I know where our kids are at and where they will be at for the rest of the year. So that's that part of the update. We had the election, and that was enough. And, the craziness involved in that and surrounding that. And I'm not going to concede. And my biggest thing, anybody that knows me, I'm going to look at this thing fair and balanced. I have no ties to Democrats. I have no ties to Republicans. But the biggest thing that I find so interesting is when I go back to previous videos and I look at the 2016 election and I look at the Republicans' reaction and I look at what they're saying, these very same people that were saying, and see, I was one, and most people that I know, regardless of how we felt about it, no one was ready to say that the election was rigged. We trusted the process, even though there was question where there was some Russian meddling and stuff like that. But overall, people that I know accepted the election results, regardless of however we felt about the president, the president-elect at that time. So it's very interesting when you go back and you look at these same videos of these same people, and they are all on, the election is rigged thing, and these are the same people that tout themselves as patriots. I don't know. For me, it's just the spin of it all. The whole spin of it all is actually just very mind-boggling to me, because I'm the type of person that if I do change my mind, if I am spinning, I will let you know, like, okay, I realize that this is a double standard. There are a lot of things in my life that I know I hold a double standard on, as far as whatever it is, not a lot of things, but there are some things where it's like, I know I should believe this way, but this is the way I feel about this way. And so it's just really fascinating to see these people flip on tape. So it's like, it's the same thing with the Amy Coney Barrett, Judge Barrett now, Supreme Justice, confirmation hearings. When a previous president, Barack Obama, was trying to get someone confirmed, it's too soon to an election. And it was like 100 and some odd days out, if I'm not mistaken. And then, then you have this man, bring my words back to me. Hold me to my words. What is your word in Hollywood? I mean, in DC at this point. What is honor? Because people were showing him, like you said, to hold us to your word. And this was 100 days out. This is less than 60 days out, and you're okay with this? And they did it, which, again, ultimately, I don't have a problem with it, because it's a game that they play. Checkmate. As an independent, I can tell you that I can look at the Democratic Party and I can look at the Republican Party, and I can tell you strategically where they mess up. And the bottom line is the Democrats have got to get the gloves off. I'm not saying fight dirty, and I'm not saying do anything non-political, but they got to stop this whole, trusting. You gotta, the Republican Party is so organized as far as their allegiance and what they will do to get the results that they want for their party. And that is a problem in one sense, because it's not about a party. We're an entire country. So it should be benefiting the entire country. But at the same time, we have this two-party system. So as long as we have this two-party system, we're going to have this split in values. We're going to have this split in views. We're going to have a split in loyalty. And that's just on that. So with that being said, I just had to jump on here. I know that I'm going to come back later because I have a Disney update. I have a COVID update. I want to talk about, I don't think I'm talking about this election and all this other stuff any further. I want to talk about Grey's Anatomy. That will be a separate video because, and I need to review Jingle Jangle. That's something else that I need to do. So there's several videos that I have in my queue, but I just wanted to come on, share. I'm not even sure I'm going to edit these videos as far as taking out the ums and the oohs and the looking arounds and all of that. I'm not sure I'm going to edit that out. I think I'm just going to give y'all, hey, raw and how it is and who I am. I just wanted to check in, let everybody know that I'm okay, obviously. And, let's just keep hanging on and holding on. January will get here soon enough. And I don't know. Leave a comment down below if you think that Trump should concede. And if you're absolutely team Trump and you're like, no, don't concede and all this stuff, the only thing that I have to say is absolutely, it's his right. Conceding or not really doesn't have a bearing on anything. But I do find it interesting that it's recount the states where I lost. Leave the states alone where I won. When Hillary conceded, the media had already called for Trump, but that was okay when the media called for him. And the media is not just making up anything. They're not doing anything that hasn't been done in previous elections as far as projecting the presidency. But because your commander-in-chief or your most fierce leader, as I like to say, your most fierce leader has lost the election, now all of a sudden we want to question the Constitution and the electoral process and all of that. Are there areas that should be changed? Absolutely. I think that there's some things that are outdated. I think there are some situations that the forefathers have not, could not foresee as being a part of what's going on. But I think that it's a matter of national security that we have to get the president, the incoming president, on board with these briefings, with the funding that he needs to set things up. So I think we're gonna see some interesting decisions being made within the next couple of weeks going into December, because you can't wait. You can't transition in January. Like, that's not going to work. And what I found interesting is, and I said I wasn't going to get into this, but what I found interesting is I read an article, and I read an article, and it said how Biden's team had their transition process not only completed, that it was already turned in. So rewind a little bit. If you don't know, when you're running for president and there's a chance that you're going to win, you set up a plan. There's a transition. It's just not like, oh, bye Trump or bye Obama, whatever. Like, there's a whole process traditionally that happens through the transition. And so for me, the only thing that I've seen previously was the inauguration day, those festivities, And so I didn't realize that there was a whole separate type of transition that happened and now it makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. Like, the president has to transition his staff. He has to transition what the plans are. So it can be a seamless and cohesive transition. Well, unfortunately, Trump has not turned his in. He has no plan. So when we were watching the debates weeks ago and they were asking him about a peaceful transition, he really should have just said, I have no plans to do so. So much so, I didn't submit a plan to do so. And then we wouldn't be where we are right now. And you probably hear my kids in the background. I'm not editing that out. So you need to keep it down. Your mother's recording. So anyway, welcome to my life, So to have that peaceful transition is so important. And for me, I look at it as also it's a national security risk. Like if I'm a foreign entity and I'm looking at what's happening in the United States right now, I would be like, oh, they just wide open. Now, we're so vulnerable right now. We're so vulnerable because you have our president elect in limbo to a certain point, to a certain degree, because I have to give Biden kudos, his team, where they are maneuvering around Trump and his lack of concession, which is fine. You know, I thought that a concession had to happen, but I learned that no, a concession, that's just part of tradition. And if you know anything about Trump, what tradition has he held up until this point? None. So why are we expecting him to do anything else other than not concede? So with that being said, why are we even surprised? I appreciate the Biden administration doing what they're doing. Those are the people that are around Trump. That's a whole nother conversation that needs to happen. I just find it very interesting, and I think it's unsettling. It's disturbing for me because I can see the spin. Because we can revert back to videos from 2016 where these same people, the people in the media, the Fox News, Don Jr., all this other stuff, get over it, accept the election, go away, deal with it, and then now the audacity of them to even suggest that there was just no way that Trump could lose. That is mind-boggling to me, but it's not only mind-boggling, it's arrogant. It's arrogant. So anyway, I literally said that I was just going to jump on here, which I did, said a quick hello. I will be back because like I said, I have a few videos that I have to put out, but I had to do this. I had to do this video. I had to complete a video for professional reasons, but then also I just wanted to jump on because I hadn't been on, and why waste a cute little soft look? And that's what I got going on here. So with that being said, thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for watching. And I will see you guys soon. Bye-bye.